It's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, and this is your show, America. Thank you for joining us. It's a free call at 888-825-5225, or you can go online at daveramsey.com. Clicking on Dave's email, please keep those brief and to the point, and we'll do our best to answer them as a part of the show today. Los Angeles starts off this hour. Barbara's with us. Hey, Barbara, how are you?
Just fine. Thank you for taking the call.
Sure. What's up?
My husband of 30 years, who is just the most moral, ethical, and faith-filled man I know, not to mention responsible financially, is an only child, and his dad is now in his 90s and is, in this last year, gone into a nursing home. And my husband, trying to be a good steward of his dad's finances, is looking at ways to get the best return. And we were talking about maybe investing some of his dad's money in real estate to get him a better return than, cash savings, money markets, things like that. And then we thought about the possibility of investing his dad's money to pay off our mortgage, and so we can pay our monthly payment to him and give us a lower interest rate. Mm-hmm. And we just have this feeling that it doesn't sound quite kosher, but
well, I think the intent is noble, but where you're acting as a fiduciary for someone, and your decision as a fiduciary for them is to give you money, that's probably going to raise red flags if someone ever were to question it because of a conflict of interest. That's why it feels funny.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that just because of the way it looks, for one thing. The other thing is I don't believe in the principle of borrowing money from parents, even though you're, in a sense, you're in control of that. And so the borrower is slave to the lender, but you're going to be slave to yourself because you're the power of attorney. Yeah, that's weird, but it'd be confusing, wouldn't it? But
yeah.
But anyway, I think that's messy. I really do. How much money does Pop have?
Oh, he's probably better than $800,000.
Mm-hmm. And what does nursing home cost a year?
Oh, he's at about $7,500 a month, and he's running with his long-term care reimbursement and his stable incomes. He's running about a negative $2,000 a month. So
$24,000 a year out of $800,000.
Mm-hmm. He could live a long time on this.
Yeah, and he's 90. So
he's 97.
97. I missed that. Okay. So really, is there a will?
Oh yes, there's a will.
Your husband is the sole heir?
He is the sole heir.
Okay. So from as a practical matter, not as the fiduciary responsibility or the power of attorney responsibility, but as a practical matter, you are investing the money for yourself.
True. Because
you're going to inherit whatever you put it into.
Right.
And the chances of him needing the money are very, very, very low. How much is the balance on your mortgage?
About $225,000.
Okay. Why don't we put? And what is the money in now?
His dad's money is in some stocks, some bonds, money market, and then liquid cash savings.
Okay. Why don't we stay liquid out of the 800? At least 400. Now here's my thinking on that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now liquid being the stocks and the bonds, you could cash them out at any time, right? That kind of a thing. Typically, we wouldn't call that liquid, but you can get to it. So that if he needs some money, you've got some.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to, but if he needs $100,000, you can lay your hands on it pretty quick that way, right?
Right.
If Pop does. Now, when, because we all will, when he passes away,
mm-hmm.
you've got enough liquid to write the check that week and pay off your mortgage.
True.
Okay. So we got enough to pay off the mortgage liquid, and we got enough to take care of Pop. So we're doing the right thing for the long-term future, and we're doing the short-term right thing for Pop. Then take the other $400 and do whatever you want to do with it as far as investing for yourself, because realistically, that's what it's for. And if you like real estate and you want to buy some real estate with that money on Pop's behalf, knowing that you're going to inherit it, then select the real estate that way.
Okay.
But I mean, actuarially speaking, if you were to look at a life insurance table of how long a 97-year-old lives, on average,
right.
you're making an investment for a fairly short period of time.
That's true.
Relatively speaking. And then you're going to be the owner of it. So I would just go buy real estate with this that's a good investment for Pop, but that also is a good investment for you because you're going to end up owning it with that $400. The first $400 is liquid. We can write a check and pay off the house when he passes, and we've got liquidity available to take care of any of his possible needs. Might not be the most maximizing thing of the portfolio, but who gives a rip? We're trying to do the right thing and think forward.
Right. My husband just wants to make sure he's really doing the best that he can, because although his dad's memory comes and goes, when he's with it, he says, now, do I really have enough money to pay for this nursing home?
Yeah. Well, the answer is always a smile and a nod. Yes, Dad. We've been very careful, and you've done a great job.
And that's exactly what we do.
Yes, Dad. You're a man of dignity. You've saved your whole life to take care of yourself, and you have taken care of yourself, and I will see to that. And that's all the answer. You don't have to get into, we've got a little in Apple stock, we got some over in the money market, Dad. We don't have to get into all of that.
No.
It's a smile and an assurance that he's a man of dignity and honor.
Exactly. Tell him that he planned for this, and it's all working according to his plan.
And we would never do anything except make sure that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think what we're doing here, what I'm outlining is a very ultra-conservative that allows you to play every side of this. But I really wouldn't do the mortgage because it just feels, I know there's no intent.
Yeah.
And I can't really say you're harming Dad by doing it. You're not. And that's not in question. But there's just a conflict of interest in that. And so I wouldn't do it. I would do what we outlined instead. Good question. Interesting. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You can follow me on Twitter at Dave Ramsey if you'd like. About 210,000 of you do. Thank you. I just had an emergency with my truck of $1,600. Not an emergency in my world. I have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Best feeling. Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. Is term life insurance for 20 years or 30 years better for me and my family? I'm 31. My husband's 46. We have 3 daughters, 6, 3, and 1. Well, 20 years from now, your 1-year-old will be 21. Should be about out of school. Should be about grown and gone. 20 years from now, your mortgage should be paid off because you would never take out more than a 15-year mortgage if you listen to me. 20 years from now, you should have plenty of money in retirement because you will have become debt-free and invested into your 401k and Roth IRAs if you listen to me. So 20 years is plenty for you guys. Go to XanderInsurance.com. You can get a quick, easy quote there. You'd be blown away at how inexpensive 20-year level term is. Thanks for the question.